we're going to disassemble the Ruger Mark 300 today. With any luck. Okay, so first of all, of course, make sure it's not loaded. Chamber's empty. Magazine is empty. Okay, put the magazine back in because you have to disassemble it. Okay, release the bolt. Now pull the trigger. It goes click. Okay, the gun is decocked. That's important. It has to be decocked. Okay, so let's see if we can get a good look at this. Everybody probably knows about this. It's a little lever here that you have to pull out to release the retaining pin for the bolt. Okay, so I use this little hook tool here. We'll put it down there. Yeah, now you can see it better. Okay, little hook tool. I like it because it does this, and it also helps with the dingle dangle later in this process. Okay, so hook it behind here, pull it out. Okay, well, we're going to have to take it apart, but my dingle dangle's not in the right spot. Okay, pull it down, it just comes out. Now, these are handy. Look inside here, and yeah, the dingle dangle's not in the right spot. Okay, so that's why I like this tool. Reach inside there, pull it out, and did it come? Yeah, looks like it did. Okay, pull the bolt out. If it's not in the right spot, that bolt is not going to come out. Okay, so obviously I did something right already. Okay, so that's good. Take a look in there. Now, can you see that? Oh yeah, there you go. See that piece of metal that's sticking up right? Let's see if I can get a pointer on it. Yeah, right there, that little chunk of metal. That controls where the dingle dangle goes. Make sure, I just stick my finger in here, push down. It's in the right spot now. Okay, release your magazine. Now, to release the barrel from the body of the gun, just push back. That's it. Just hold the barrel, push back with your thumb. That's all there is to it. However, if you have not cleaned your gun in some time, there's going to be a buildup of yuck in there, and it's not going to come out that, or not likely going to come out that easy. So you'll have to take like a block of wood or a wooden mallet and drive it back. Make sure you're hitting it the right way, because it's got to go. The barrel's got to go forward, body's got to go back. Okay, just like that. If you try it the other way, you're going to be there for a long time. Okay, so release that. Now, when I take this apart, I like to take this little piece out of here too, which is just a spring on the bolt. Now, I don't know if you can really see it. There's a little piece of metal on the end here with like two little wings on it, for lack of a better description. Okay, if you just pull up on the spring and release it. Can you see those wings? Yeah, there you go. That's not a bad shot of it. Okay, and on the other end, it's like a half moon shape. See that? Okay, so that's all there is to it. It just pops out. And you clean all, because it's going to be covered in GSR and oil and yuck. Anyway, so just clean all that off. Clean the whole bolt out and apply a little bit of oil or whatever. Put it back in. Just slide the half moon end in first. Take those two wings, compress the spring, and it slides back into place on the bolt. Okay? Now after you clean your firearm completely, to put it back together, just the reverse, right? Up to a point. Okay, so push the body back onto the barrel. I give it a little thump on a chunk of wood or a wooden bench, or if you got a wooden mallet or rubber mallet or whatever, I guess you could use that. Just whack it, just to make sure it seats properly. Because if it doesn't go in far enough, then it's a bitch to get that pin in later, for the retainer pin for the bolt. Anyway, whoops. So make sure, before you do anything, make sure that pin's in the right spot, that little dingle dangle. Make sure it's in the right spot. Let's see if I can hook it there. Yeah, we're not going to get a good look at it. It doesn't show up very well. Anyway, you reach in there, make sure that piece of metal is down, then look inside. Make sure you can see that that dingle dangle is on the outside of the little cross pin that's in there. If it's on the outside of it, sort of hanging loose, you're good. If it's above it or sort of tucked behind it, you got to fish it out of there, and because otherwise it's not going to go back together. Okay, at this point I usually put, where's my bolt? There it is. Okay, I usually put the bolt back in. There's other ways of doing this too. I mean, this is not the only way that these can convert. This is just the easiest way I've found. Okay, bolt back in. And the bolt won't go back in if you don't have that dingle-dangle piece of metal down. Yeah. Anyway, put your magazine back in, because you're going to have to pull the trigger now to get this in. Okay, and if the magazine's not in there, the trigger doesn't actually do anything, so you can't get it back in. Okay, so slide this back in. It's got to go in far enough that it sits proud on the barrel. If it's not sticking up above the barrel, it's not in far enough, and it's not going to go together. Now at this point, lift it up, pull the trigger, slide this down. My dingle-dangle's not in the right spot. You know how I know that? There's no spring. Okay, so now you got to pull that back out. See that dingle? It was in the right spot, you know. Yeah, and it's not now. Okay, we'll try that again. See if that got enough. Other than that, I got to take the whole damn thing apart again. Okay, so slide that up. If you do that, sometimes it'll get the dingle-dangle in the right spot. Pull the trigger, slide it in, and it went in right that time. You can tell because, there, that's a good shot. That's springy. That's what you want. If it's not springy, that's how I knew it wasn't in the right spot before, because it wasn't springy. If it's not springy, it's not right. And you got to take, like I did, take that pin back out again, reposition your dingle-dangle, and then try it again. So anyway, that's got it back together again. Check it, make sure the bolt pulls back, because if it hasn't gone together right, that bolt won't pull back. I've learned that. Okay, anyway, release the bolt, pull the trigger. Yes, it all functions. It's back together properly. That's all there is to it. It's simple, right? Good luck.